Hi everybody, this is CVGS, I'm the captain here, and on this recap for 22nd and 23rd March 2021's Vanguard livestream for OverDress, we'll be looking at the reveals and sharing our collective thoughts on them. There's a lot to go through on this very first week of OverDress, as they not only held the livestream from Tuesday, but a special livestream on Wednesday that revealed more of what we can expect from the first booster set. We'll start with the reveals from Dragon Empire and its new ace,
EUGENE! EUGENE!
EUGENE! I wanna sound mean, but I sound dumb on screen! The Dust Storm ride line for EUGENE showcased quite a different take on what seems to be a Kagero style of play. Compared to what we have with Nirvana, this is something that's less focused on the overdress mechanic. Gunning of Dust Storm Nigel, when rode upon by Cataclysmic Bullet of Dust Storm Randor, Soul Charge 1. On the rearguard circle, when your opponent's rearguards is retired during your main phase, by Counterblast 1 and retiring this unit, choose one of your opponent's rearguards and retire it. A Chain Destructor is one thing, but having a Soul Charge was indicative of what we'll be seeing at the end of this ride line. Cataclysmic Bullet of Dust Storm Randor, when rode upon by Heavy Artillery of Dust Storm EUGENE. Draw a card, choose up to one card from your drop zone and put it into your soul. And when this unit is attacking on the Vanguard or rearguard circle, if your opponent has 2 or less rearguards, by Counterblast 1, Soul Charge 1, and this unit gets plus 5k until the end of that battle. All that soul charging leads up to Heavy Artillery of Dust Storm EUGENE. Once per turn on the Vanguard circle, by resting 2 rearguards, choose one of your opponent's rearguards and retire it, and this unit gets plus 10k until the end of the turn. Also, once per turn on the Vanguard circle, if your opponent's rearguard was retired this turn, by Soul Blast 5, look at the same number of cards from the top of your deck as the number of your opponent's open rearguard circles, choose any number of units among them and call them to rearguard circle, and put the rest into your soul. EUGENE did cause quite a debate among us, because despite the efficiency of acquiring soul for its cost and the cheap destruction cost by resting 2 rearguards, it is agreed that EUGENE should have had more than just 10k power. EUGENE is a very good card regardless. It's just that he might fall flat due to limitations of his own power on turn 5 and also limitations possibly imposed by a smart opponent. We kind of feel that if it is a little bit more than just plus 10k power, it might be a little bit better. Like if he had additional critical on top of the 10k, or maybe even have more power like 15 or 20k out of it. Switching nations, we also received news of the Cardinal right line for Brandgate in the upcoming booster set, and it looks like they want to declare a new World Order of Overdress. I'm being literal here because they introduced 2 set order cards known as Worlds. Similar to Prism with Sarah Snow, the World Order cards are designed to set the pace for all phase with the keyword Dark Knight and Abyssal Dark Knight. Both Hollowing Moonlit Night and In the Darkness Nobody Knows require Soul Blast 1 to play down, and both of them have the same continuous skill in the order zone. If your order zone only has world cards, the following effects are active according to the number of cards in your order zone. 1 card, your world becomes Dark Knight. 2 or more, your world becomes Abyssal Dark Knight. Try saying Dark Knight and Abyssal Dark Knight over and over without Batman coming up on your head. The difference between the two is when and what activates when they come into play. Hollowing Moonlit Light is a grade 2 that when played, you draw a card. In the Darkness That Nobody Knows, which is a grade 3, when played, choose one of your opponent's front row rearguards and retire it. While I'm grateful that it's not intended for World and Prison cards to be mixed together, it's interesting to note that Brandgate is the nation that is primarily playing with set order cards. I was expecting a non-order alternative in the booster set, but at least it wasn't locked, which could have caused a lot of havoc coming out this early in the era. As mentioned, the Cardinal right lines play upon if your world cards are in Dark Knight or Abyssal Dark Knight. Cardinal Noid Rutis is the grade 1 in the line, and its skills are, when placed on Vanguard Circle, search your deck for up to 1 world card, reveal it, put it into your hand and shuffle your deck. His continuous skill on the Rearguard Circle, during the battle that this unit attacked or boosted, if your world is in Dark Knight or Abyssal Dark Knight, this unit gets plus 2k power. Cardinal Noid Cubicia is the grade 2. On Vanguard Circle, when a world card is put into your order zone, choose one of your units and it gets plus 5k power until the end of the turn. Continuous on Rearguard Circle during your turn, if your world is Abyssal Dark Knight, this unit gets plus 5k power. Already we see a sort of a rush down style of play here with Cubicia and adding power to units when you play down the world card you just searched up from the last write-up. And that playstyle is supported by Cardinal Deuce Office. Continuous on the Vanguard or Rearguard Circle during your turn. If your world is Dark Knight or Abyssal Dark Knight, this unit gets plus 5k power. And on the Vanguard Circle only, if your world is Abyssal Dark Knight, by paying Counterblast 2, call up to 2 Shadow Army tokens to the Vanguard Circle. The Shadow Army tokens themselves are Grade 1 tokens with base 15k power. I won't lie, other than because I could make an Iron-Blooded Orphans reference instead of a JoJo one, the reason I put I Am Crying on the Orphis option is because I'm a little afraid to see Orphis in action. Especially on turn 5 if he is able to get to Abyssal Dark Knight. Combined with either himself or Cubisia on the Vanguard Circle, as well as those 15k power boosts at the back, guarding early so that I have some damage space might be my best option to see the turn beyond that onslaught. I'm a little wishful that this skill might have been something else, but nonetheless it's actually a great skill and Orphis will definitely be a popular choice amongst a lot of players once the booster set comes out. Also on the Tuesday livestream, they actually announced the second booster set that will be releasing in June. This will be 1 month after the special series has been released, so we can expect all of the 5 nations to be boosted again in June. We will be paying close attention to the BTO2 releases, and the reveals will definitely show us whether if we are going to be seeing the mistakes of the past that Vanguard has always had in previous eras. Now here is where the news would end, but as mentioned, we got a special live stream on Wednesday and we got some Dark States cards to talk about. Steam Detective Overraid is first up. When placed on a Vanguard Circle, choose one of your opponent's units in the same column as this unit and it gets plus 2k power until the end of the turn. If you are in Final Rush, it gets plus 5k power instead. Proto-Bob Dragon on Vanguard Circle when it boosts all attacks. If you are in Final Rush, by Counterblast 1 and putting another Vanguard into your soul, choose a card from your soul and put it into your hand. A good way to fetch my guarding cards that went into the soul. Nice. Upward Acrobat Marjorie. Once per turn on Vanguard Circle when it attacks, if you are in Final Rush, by putting one of your other Vanguards into the soul, draw a card, soul charge 1, and this unit gets plus 10k power. It's odd to see a Pale Moon style card accompany a Spike Brothers ace, but hey, this is overdress. All these kind of combinations can be expected through and through. Diablo's Boys Eden. Continuous on the Vanguard Circle, if you are in Final Rush, this unit gets plus 5k power, and this unit stands this turn by a card effect, it gets plus 1 critical. And when this unit attack hits by Counterblast 1, choose one of your opponent's Vanguards and retire it. This card is the boost for Violence Bruce and it is the intending accompanying Vanguard for him. And it's nice that you have to play Violence Bruce with him because of his conditions for his continuous skill. The big news of Wednesday was the reveal of the overtrigger for Dark States. As a reminder, when this overtrigger is damage checked, remove this card from the game, choose a unit and it gets plus 100 million power. Its additional effect that activates when drive checked is that until the end of the fight, you get the skill during your turn, all of your Vanguards get plus 10k power and 1 critical. This is on par with what we've seen with the Dragon Empire overtrigger. I love the idea of triggering this early in the fight, and suddenly my opponent has a lot of power and critical he needs to consider. At the same time, I hate to see how this affects premium. Considering its accessibilities by decks like Chronojet, Shahalet, Lukier among others, being able to trigger this overtrigger would put a huge smile on people's faces. And let's not forget, this says all of your Vanguards gets plus 10k plus 1 critical, so even Legion decks can come back with just adding this overtrigger to their deck. It's a great card to add to any Dark States or Dark States affiliated decks, just like how the Dragon Empire overtrigger is for the Dragon Empire decks. And I bring up the notion again that counterbalance to these awesome abilities on overtriggers is that you need to drive check them in order to gain that strong bonus. I look forward to wreaking havoc in overdress, especially with the CVGS Overdress Championship on the line. So what do you guys think? Are you shedding tears for Orphis with his new world orders? Or are you settling the dust with EUGENE? How about the Dark States overtrigger? Leave your comments below. And if you want to be part of the live conversations with us on Overdress, we're on Twitch for Tuesdays live streams and Wednesdays for our discussion streams here on YouTube. So be sure to follow us on Twitch for our gaming streams, slam that like and subscribe button, and ring the bell so you get notified of all of our videos when they release, be it for Vanguard or Battle Spirits. Be sure to follow us on all of our socials. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We also have a Discord as well where you can find myself, Leon and Dempster on most nights. If you like what we do here and want to support us directly, you can join our membership where you can be like Wen Hao Law, Daddy Angrieto, and Samuel McKay and have access to our meme emotes and badges during our premieres and live streams. So, with that said, thank you guys for watching and we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!